Let's talk about closing costs because I know this part can be super confusing for a lot of people, especially if you're buying or selling and you don't know what to expect. And when you're buying or selling a home, there's going to be costs involved beyond just the price. So we're going to break it down really simply, whether you're a buyer or seller. So first is buying a home. There's going to be some upfront costs that you need to plan for even before you get to closing. That can include things like your home inspection. The great news is there are some inspection companies that you may be able to wait until closing to pay for that. However, most of the time it's going to be paid for out of pocket right after you make the appointment during your due diligence period. Now, after that period, there's the appraisal, and that normally is going to be paid for upfront too, because the lender is going to need to send an appraiser out to confirm the home's value. Then you've got things like homeowner's insurance if you're doing a loan. You'll typically pay for the first year at closing on that one. You've got property taxes that are prorated depending on timing, and those are also paid at closing. You've also got lender, title, and escrow fees, and sometimes HOA fees. There's also something that you might not think about, but buyers may also be responsible for their buyer's agent compensation, depending on what's negotiated with your agent and whether the seller is willing to help cover any of that as well. Altogether, I would say standard closing costs usually are about 2 to 3% of the home's purchase price. However, that is not including any buyer's agent compensation that you would be responsible for. Okay, so now let's talk about closing costs if you're a seller.